guys! Welcome back to Respawn, where we talk about how esports changes people's lives. Today I have a very special guest. You guys might know him as the face of MCS. I have Nick Mizesko.
I like when I'm referred to as the face of the MCS because that means that the only one they're looking at is me, and it's so not true. But thanks.
I mean, I don't know. Twitter says otherwise. Twitter has you as.
That's my Twitter. I wrote it down. That's how it works.
I mean, yeah, that is how it works.
Yeah. Well.
I mean,
thanks.
I saw the comments. Plenty of people were saying that you're the face.
Yeah, well, that or other mean things, but we won't talk about those.
Okay, so today, Nick, I want to talk to you about how esports changes people's lives, but specifically your life. And, you know, I've talked to people who actually play games and things like that, and I've seen you do a lot of different things in the world, especially on Twitch. So I wanted to talk to you about how it changed your life, and could you walk me through how you even got involved in esports?
Oh, God. How much time do you have? What are we?
We're on a very tight schedule.
This is like, dang. So I came from the casual gaming side. I just kind of played Madden for fun. But when I went to school, I always wanted to be into journalism or some sort of broadcast. But I had what I believe the technical term is an overbearing mother, who said, "You're not going to do that." So I wasn't allowed to do that. So I went, how can I get involved in this? And I happened to find a Madden franchise league that was doing Twitch streams. And I was like, no, this looks like fun. Like, I asked him if I could be a part of it. And that began what was 3 years of basically streaming 4 times a week, just calling games. And then how I got involved with EA was in 2019, they held a contest. It was called the Shoutcaster Showdown. And they asked people to submit demo tapes, and they gave you like 2 games to call, and they said, call these games, and we're going to pick a couple people to come out to San Francisco. And I was one of the 3 people that got called out, and I got to call a game in San Francisco in 2019. And 3 weeks after the event, they called me and gave me a contract, and now I've been doing it ever since.
Dang, okay, so on a whim.
Yeah, complete whim, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't, when I did my first event, I had never watched a competitive gaming anything in my life. Like, I gamed, but I didn't watch anything.
That's so crazy, because seeing you at all of the live events, obviously you've been doing it for a while, but I would have never thought that you didn't immediately do this forever. Like, I thought you would have gone to school for broadcasting. You're so good at it, and like the way that you, I guess, you know the players.
More. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep going.
Yes.
What else am I good at?
You know the players well.
Uh-huh.
You obviously understand football to great lengths. You have to call it. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of people that sit there with you that don't understand football. And yeah, you do a really good job of it. And you're so passionate. That's my favorite part. Seeing you at the Madden Bowl and you like running down the ramp when things were happening, just so excited to talk about it.
I think my producers would prefer if I didn't do that, but they gave me a freedom to stand up, and that was a mistake. No, I mean, like, it stems from, you know, I might not have been a competitive esport watcher, but I've always been a sports fan. I remember being 6 years old and listening to Marv Albert call the Bulls finals games in '96 against the Jazz, like, and that was like the first time I was like, oh, a commentator, like, that's cool, and that was something I always liked. So, when I started working with the franchise league, one of the things that like I stuck to was calling it like it was a game, not calling it like it was a video game.
Right.
So, it was a lot of referring to the actual players on the field, and we're not talking about, Greg holding the sticks, because who cares? But, like, people care about, their favorite players in the game. So, I don't know. But, it's all been a learning process. It's all been just being a part of the community for so long. Like, you pick up on it, and, I made a point after I did my first event and then got hired back to the second one. I spent 3 weeks just watching content and just taking notes and figuring out who these people were and who I needed to know about. And then I always made it a point for me of at events spending time with the players, because I think being on a broadcast is nerve-wracking for a lot of people who've never been there before and been in the spotlight. And so you're never going to get great answers out of them when you're interviewing them before a game that's worth $50,000. But you're going to get great answers of them if you're just sitting at dinner the night before. So I always, that was a big part for me.
No, yeah. I didn't even think about it. You do know all of the players very well.
I try to. I mean, listen, there's some guys, like, you can't pry out of their hotel rooms. They're just going to go lab, and that's what they're going to do. But the community has been good enough and nice enough to me to let me be a part of it and to accept me. And so, like, there's a part of it that's like, it's also like I went through the COVID era of broadcasts. We spent 3 years at home, so getting the opportunity to do a lot of this stuff in person again, like, I don't really think there's anything better than being in person. The energy in the building, the energy with the players, and I think, we spent 3 years apart, so, like, you don't know when it's going to be here. You don't know when it's going to go away. You don't know what's going to happen next, so take advantage of those moments. Yeah. I mean, you have to.
You mentioned COVID. The reason why I bring that up is a lot of people mention that esports wouldn't be what it is without COVID. Do you agree with that?
Ooh, yes and no. So,
complex question.
It is a complex question, and I think you're seeing both the good and the bad side of it. On the good side, when there was no sports to watch, people had to watch something, so we were there. I mean, I remember we did Madden Bowl 20 was supposed to be March of 2020, and we ended up backing it up to May.
Right.
COVID happens like right away. I think it was supposed to be like the first week of April or something. It was usually the old schedule was before the NFL draft. They backed it up to May. We set up a full remote broadcast in 2 months, which is credit to EA for getting that done. But that was one of those moments where we did. I think it was 4 show days, and all 4 were on ESPN or ESPN2 because there was just nothing else to watch. So they put my face on it. That was bold. Thanks, ESPN.
The face of everything, pretty much.
Appreciate it, 4-letter network. So I think there was a level of exposure that was brought on by COVID. I also think like we're kind of coming down from the COVID highs. I think you're seeing a lot of esports companies and gaming companies cutting staff and cutting broadcast, and that's just the natural thing. We had this big influx during COVID, and now it's like, all right, everything is back. We're going to tail off a little bit, and I think there was an overinvestment in the industry, but I think the benefit of the overinvestment is the fact that now you're seeing really good product come out. Mm-hmm. Everybody did it, and so now people can pick and choose. Okay, we know this was good. We know this was good. We knew this was good. And you're seeing the long-standing, long-form esports broadcast thriving because everybody kind of funneled towards the right product, and I think that's kind of the other side of it.
Okay, so let me just make sure I'm understanding correctly. So your take is more of esports was always going to get where it was. This just kind of boosted it?
Yeah, I mean, you're
COVID
younger than me. I mean, like,
Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
I'm old. Leave me alone. Like, when I was growing up, back in the yesteryears, like, video games were just starting to be a prevalent thing. I remember, like, I used to have to go to my cousin's house to play video games. They had the N64. I didn't have one at my house. I didn't get a gaming system until I was a senior in high school.
They were the cool house. Got it.
They were absolutely the cool house. There's no world you looked at me and went, you had the cool house. No, not at all. You heard overbearing mother, no video game systems. Nobody came to my house. But I think, like, esports was always going to get there because, like, your generation grew up with video games. Like, It was a prevalent thing, and it's provided opportunities and been a part of people's lives for longer. So at that point, I mean, that's how media and sports changes as the next generation starts to come into the world and starts to be a bigger part of the business acumen. You start seeing new industries be a thing. And so I think that's where esports was always going to get there. I think COVID was just gasoline on the fire. Like, it's just, let's see how big this fire can get, huh? All right. Now we got to put it out a little bit. But your generation and even the one behind your generation are going to continue to make esports thrive.
Oh my gosh, I know. Gen Alpha is...
Sure, is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a Gen Z. Which...
Riz? Is that a thing?
Riz?
I don't know.
I'm Gen Z, and then Gen Alpha's after me, and they are definitely, like... I used to think, like, I knew everything when it came to any type of, like, electronics or media or anything like that, and now my, like, 10-year-old cousin can tell me how to upload a PDF onto my phone, and I'm like, what do you mean? And it kind of makes me feel like...
I mean, my generation was... I'm millennial, so...
You're not even that old. Why are you acting like you're so old? You're a millennial.
Okay, but you realize that I'm in a gaming sphere.
You're the same age as my sister.
Okay. what's up? But like you realize like I'm in a gaming sphere, so like everybody I deal with is like 16 to 25
Right,
years
but
old.
those are the people that are actually competing. Of course they're going to be younger. Everybody says that their prime years are when they're younger. So, but like the people that sit at the table with you are around your age.
You're just talking about user. Like yeah, I get
How
that.
old is?
They're all about my age.
Yeah.
But again, it's the washed section. Like everybody who comes on the
You're
desk are
not
people who are bad.
washed.
Well, you can't be washed if you were never good, and I was never good. But I mean, but like it is. I mean, in an industry that targets 25 to 34-year-olds, that is the peak, and even before 18 to 25, and then the 25 to 34. Esports does not target 34 to 50. That's not a thing yet.
At least not this side of the gaming part. I feel like the other side,
Well-
definitely. Like there's the side of like broadcasting. There's the professors, which is like essentially where I'm hoping esports kind of really branches out to. And then there's also like the behind the scenes, because you still need a team. Like,
Oh, sure. I mean, production teams are still
Yeah.
production teams. I mean, so, not to get too much on the soliloquy, but, like, I have been of the opinion, as somebody who works in Madden college football, I've always been in the sports video games. There's no reason Madden shouldn't be the biggest esport in the world.
Really? Okay.
Because you don't have to explain it to a 60-year-old. You go, it's football.
Okay.
I have to explain Call of Duty to somebody. I don't have to explain football. Like, my dad will send me, like he'll be watching and he'll be like, oh, what a great play. Because he doesn't have to understand what Madden is. He knows what football is. Now, he will also send me articles from 10 years ago about how big Madden is. And I'm like, Dad, that's 2014. Stop sending me old articles. But, like, there's no reason why Madden, and on that same train, FC and all these sports games shouldn't be the biggest esports in the world, because football ended on the Super Bowl. We have 6 months here where we could just be hammering Madden.
Right.
Because people like football.
Yeah.
So why can't it be the biggest? I mean, at least the biggest in North America.
I was gonna say that was my.
I mean,
devil's
FC is
advocate.
huge over in the world.
And
but
like, yeah, because like FIFA and stuff like that. That's something that everybody knows how to play soccer. Everybody knows of soccer. Not everybody knows of American football. So I think that really kind of pushes Madden back.
So I've done now 3 events in Europe for Madden, and you'd be surprised.
I mean, I definitely know what happens, because like I literally only have one chatter. I'm sure I have other viewers, but I have one chatter that's in my streams that is from the UK, and like that's it. And so I mean, but it is getting to a different space.
Part of it is it's a time zone thing. Part of it is a time zone thing. Like, at some
And
point.
I know that the NFL is branching out to go to other countries to play games.
When I went to, I did Tottenham 2 years ago and I did Madrid this year. I thought for sure I was going to walk into the stereotypical, what like people say online is like they just pay fans to be there.
Okay. No, everybody
They're,
wanted to be
like,
there.
Like you're talking to fans out there and they're naming like 2000s Jacksonville Jaguars players, and you're like, how do you know who Mark Brunell is? Like, somebody help me. Like, these guys are fans. Like, it's not a North American thing. It is a global phenomenon because people like competition. So at the end of the day, if they can find a new avenue for competition, they're going to do it. And now we're just expanding to what this year, I think it was 7 international games. Next year it's going to be 9. They're expanding to a new country. Like, the NFL is a global game. Now, do I think that they're going to put a team out there? No, that would be ridiculous. Let's calm down. But that's where, like, I think Madden, like, we had a European qualifier for the Madrid games, and they had a couple hundred people all qualifying in a week, playing on PlayStation tournaments to come and play in Madrid.
I know.
Like, that's a big deal. And it's
Lambo
just
went
kind of
out
the
to
beginning.
that, right?
Lambo went out to that. So
Yeah.
we had the 2 MCS players, then we had like 2 European players, and then we had the slug match with the FIFA players.
Okay, so.
Sorry, FC. Don't sue me, please.
Oh, is it FC now?
It's FC.
Okay,
It's
this
FC.
is
Don't
news
say
to me.
they lost the branding.
Oh, gotcha. Heard. Okay, did not realize that. Okay, so you think that Madden should be the
Huge.
Yeah, I think Madden does a really good job with the MCS. I think there's a lot that could be changed with it. But besides the MCS, what is your favorite thing that you've done in your career of broadcasting?
Ooh, outside of the MCS. So, I mean, they're all like kind of tangential to the MCS, but like I got to do. We went out to NFL kickoff last year, and that was cool. That was at Arrowhead. We got to work with the Cruiser, but I think my favorite thing we got to do was 24. I got to do the Madden cover reveal. So we filmed with Josh Allen for 45 minutes or so. And then I got to MC the downstairs, which was like, they had this big release party. It was a bunch of Bills fans were there. It was in Buffalo. And got to introduce Josh Allen and talk to him for a little bit. And like, that was like the first time I got to do something that was more video game centric versus esports centric. And that was cool. That was something I never thought I'd do. I mean, outside of that though, like, I'm not kidding. As a 10-year-old, my dream was to be on ESPN. I've done now, I think, 13 different shows on an ESPN network, which is crazy to think about.
So you're living up all of your dreams.
I mean, I'm not 6'2" yet, but come on, puberty. I'm hoping someday.
Oh, gosh.
Someday I'll grow.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so you've met super cool people. What else do you think that this job has brought to you besides just, like, meeting cool people and doing something that you've always wanted to do?
I think there's a level of being in broadcast is a cacophony of noise. Sorry, I'm using big words. I know you don't know any of this.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Could you spell that for me?
Yeah. It's fine. It won't help you. You know what? It's a fast-paced environment that requires a lot to be thrown at you at the same time. And I don't know if that was something that I was always good at necessarily. And I think that's just a skill that has come with being in broadcast for so long, is that like for example, last year, our biggest tournament, the Madden Bowl, is in New Orleans, and 3 seconds before we go live, the entire PlayStation Network goes down.
Oh, no.
And in my ear, I hear 5, 4, 3, kill, 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 don't say anything, don't go live. And so, like, we just had to, like, roll with it, which eventually meant we went to London, which was cool. But, like, then I had to be the one that go on stage and tell this entire room of people, of 200 people who came to watch the final, go home, we have nothing for you tonight.
Oh, no.
And that's, like, that's the nuclear option, but, like, that is the, like, you just got to kind of roll with the punches. And I think that's just something that comes with time, but also, like, has kind of come into my everyday life, which is, like, there's so much in our lives that we can't control. So
yeah,
what are you worrying about? Like, there's stuff that there's rightful to worry about and stuff you can control, and the other stuff you just got to kind of let go, and that's 100% what has been broadcast for me.
Dang. You said that. Okay, so with that, you went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then you went to London.
Yeah.
Where's the coolest place that you've been?
So I'm a sucker for London. I love London.
Of course.
Okay, that felt personal.
I mean, you're wearing crazy. Like an all gray outfit right now.
That's because I'm from the Midwest and it rains all the time.
Just like London.
That's fair. I mean, I am a soccer fan. I've always loved London. But coolest place, I will always be partial to San Francisco.
I knew you were going to say it.
It's where I got my first job out there. I had a friend who lived out in San Francisco for years, so like it was already someplace that I really liked as a city. But that's always going to be kind of home, and having spent so much time in the city, like I don't know if it's like London's probably the coolest. Like Madrid was cool, but London was probably the coolest. But like San Francisco will always be my number one city. It
was a lot of fun going out there for Madden Bowl. Yeah. I'm big fan of the weather, and it just...
You got lucky. Okay, y'all don't understand. Like, you're like, the weather was so good, which is true. But I remember Madden Bowl in 19, it was foggy and 50 degrees the whole time.
I would still take that over snow and anything below 50.
Yes, I would take many things over snow. Good point.
Yeah, and I've lived in snow my whole life, so I just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco gets a bad rep. It gets the post-COVID rep is not great, but I go spend time out there.
Yeah, it was very nice, and I've never been over to the West Coast before, besides going to Alaska, but that's a whole nother.
It's the north left coast.
Yeah, I don't even consider that the United States anymore.
Nobody has. Okay, that's crazy.
It's like a whole nother country.
That's not how maps work.
It's not even like it's so
I can see
different.
Russia from my backyard.
Oh my gosh, I can't with you. No, but I definitely have only been in this realm for a few months, and I've gotten to go to so many cool places. I've had so many experiences, so I can only imagine somebody that's been in it for years of like everything that you've done.
Yeah, but see, you probably loved Orlando.
Can't say that. I mean, I do love a good theme park.
Dork.
Outside of that,
Yeah,
it was
it's
okay.
Orlando.
It was
It's
Orlando. I have family that lives in Florida, Georgia, so like I've been there many times.
So California was like truly like a different.
It was a whole new
experience.
experience, and there was mountains and it was warm. I was like, this is new to me.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so but with that being said, you've gone to all these cool places, you've seen all these cool people. Is there any like memory that you have that to this day you're just like, wow, I actually did that?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it's hard because we've had so many good moments.
I knew you were everything's great.
It is, but it is. Like I say it in jest, but like it's true. I have a completely ridiculous job.
Yeah.
Like there are people working in construction in the rain and in the heat and building houses, and I'm yelling at virtual football. Like,
Fair.
My job's ridiculous. So if you don't have some level of appreciation for that, you're in the wrong industry. I think the last 3-year Madden Bowls have kind of been wild because EA has built these major concerts around the esport event.
Yeah.
It was something that would not be necessarily talked about as much, but they are putting these major events where celebrities and executives and everybody's going to these. And so I think this year was kind of like maybe the wildest moment because we're in the home, like we do the game, and then we go to the home of the Golden State Warriors, and our company is running the entire floor and putting on a concert for everybody. And like, that's for what we did. Like, I know it's in conjunction with everything, but that's for what we did. That's what we're built around.
Right.
And I think those moments are the ones that you just like take a step back and go, I don't know if esports would have had this 10 years ago.
Right.
And how wild is it that we get to be a part of it?
No, yeah. 10 years ago is such a different time. Well, I do have one more question for you, and it's my favorite question.
I'm scared.
If you could respawn back to before you started this, what would you change and why?
So I'm not a person that has a lot of regrets. I kind of think that like everything you do is done for a reason. I would have diversified more.
Okay.
I would have gotten into more games and called more games. I think, for me, my goal from the beginning with this was to dovetail it into a traditional media job. I wanted to be the first one to go from esports to regular sports. And whether that happens, who knows?
Still time.
Sure. I'm still alive. But like I would have diversified into more games, especially knowing that like COVID was coming when everything was going to be huge. So there were so many opportunities that I passed up on because I just didn't have the experience. But outside of that, like so much of what I've done has been a combination of lucky breaks and hard work. And I I spent years missing dinners just doing broadcasts at home.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's just like you got to get the stream done. So maybe it would have taken a little more time off in those 3 years, but I feel like those 3 years of grinding kind of got me where I was. So I just think I probably would have diversified more because I'd like to be in more avenues with esports because I still think there's a growth model with it.
No, I think that's great. And I mean, you still have time to do that as well, especially with everything branching out.
I'm ancient in esports. Thanks, though.
No, you are not. I hate
am.
this.
How many 40-year-olds do you see in esports, okay? That's what I thought. You couldn't name one. You were pointing your finger. That's a lie.
How old is Ben Kurt?
Younger than me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right. Well,
Weird
I want to
string.
leave now. I'm just going to sit here.
Well, I'm going to drop all your socials on the screen, but thank you so much for coming out, and I hope to see you again soon. And thanks for joining.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thanks for spawning in.
Yeah.